This is the thing. Creed 2 can be seen as a very formulaic film, but what it does with its characters and the relationships between them is what makes it so great. I also think that the story they chose for this sequel was the most logical thing they could have done after the first movie. Apollo Creed's death was a really important part of the Rocky series, and to put that front and center while also bringing back one of the original Rocky villains, Ivan Drago, was a genius idea. Yes, the story follows the same Rocky formula and is pretty predictable, but the development of the characters from the first Creed movie is what continued to keep me invested into this story. In this movie, we see how Adonis' relationship with his girlfriend is affected by his new title as champion. We also see how his relationship with Rocky is affected by their new opponents, who this time around have a more personal connection to them. Not to mention, this movie makes a considerable effort to make us feel with the villains. I like that we get to see how Ivan Drago was affected by his loss to Rocky after all those years ago, and how in turn that affected Ivan's relationship with his son. Both Adonis and Ivan's son Victor Drago have their own reasons for revenge, which makes the fights that happen have more weight. All that character work led up to a final match that had me rooting for both sides, which is something I can't say about every boxing movie. I would have liked there to be another one-shot boxing match like in the first one, but the fights were still entertaining as all hell, especially with the way they weaved in the original Rocky theme. There's also a really kick-ass training montage in there. So in the end, I'm going to give Creed 2 an 8.5 out of 10. I can see people shitting on it for not really breaking the mold as far as a boxing movie goes, but I think what they added to it was good enough to eclipse that. Because of the way this movie ends, I don't think they should make a Creed 3. I think they would start to get worse if they continued, and I don't know where they would actually go from here. If they have to continue to spin off the Rocky franchise, I'd rather see a prequel about some other Rocky villain.